yeah, so basically we're going to be hunting dimes today. So I have my mintages here that we're looking for. What we'll do is I will show you guys what the inside of this box looks like quick. I did get to see at the bank, and it looked decently circulated to me, so not bad. But really hoping that I can find some silver in here. Silver number 3. So, usually, if you guys know how it goes, open the first 5 rolls. After that, we'll let you guys know if we find anything else. So, what do you say? We get going with roll number 1. Now, this is the good bank, the one from the sister city to my own. It's a much older city, so let's see what we are dealing with here. Now, dimes. They are frustrating. Don't know if you guys have seen my dime video yet that I put up. Looks like an 88 to me. $88. But not bad. We got a older one already. I'm pretty sure that one was nickel. What's this one gonna be? Looks like a 69 to me. These darn dimes are so shiny. It's so hard to zoom and focus. I'm sorry, guys. 69. Now, there is a variation for the 69, which is a large date, which is a very good variation to look out for. So, that is a keeper right there. We'll throw that to the side for now. And we'll just take a quick look. So, first roll, we already got a 69. That's a good sign. Something a little bit, a couple years older than that, and we're going to be talking. We'll be cooking with gas. Let's see. What's this? An old rusted out one. Yep, it's all rusted because of the steel and the zinc rust. But it's uncrowned, so we aren't keeping that. Well, that does it for roll number 1. Let's see here. I'll take out the other rolls. Let's do 2 clear and 2 paper. Even ratio for you guys. So, see how stubborn this paper roll is going to be. Seems like quite the elaborate tape job on this one. Hopefully, for a good reason. You know what? I'm not even going to try that because, geez, they just taped the crap out of that. So, do a quick inspection. Looks like something a little special right there. But I'm guessing it's just going to be a nickel. A nickel dime. Because before the year 1999, dimes were nickels, and after the year 1968. What do we got here? An 81. Well, I'm not going to show you guys all the older finds because these dimes are so shiny that there's really no point. All right, here we go. Our first 68 of the box. So, I'm going to have to do a magnet test. Let's see. Now, a better magnet would be better. If this magnet right here picks this dime up right here, then it is not silver. If it does not pick it up, then it is not silver. Well, as you can see right there, we have ourselves a non-silver dime. But I still keep those. Even though they aren't silver, I still hold on to them. Because they are getting older now. And you might as well hold on to anything pre-70, especially 1970s, because 1970s are an extremely low mintage year for Canadian dimes. Well, roll number 2, 1968, a nickel 1968. Let's see what we got. Roll number 3. Because we had nothing in roll number 2. Let's see if we can do quick edge inspection. So far, no US. Looks like we got at least that's an 82. Not a single US in this box so far, which is disappointing because I am looking for lots of different US dimes. Now, I'm pretty sure there's also 1999 and 2000 variations of P variations of dimes that may be mules. So just keep your eyes out for little things like that. We got an 89, so we are seeing some older stuff in here, but just not the kind of older stuff that we are looking for yet. We got an 82. Now, coin roll hunting seems to really be picking up right now. A lot of the tellers have been telling me people have been picking boxes up, turning boxes in. You know, this thing. It's really coming alive here in Canada. I know it's really big in the United States, but I'm really hoping that we can make this, we can make it big over here too, guys. So if you guys are enjoying this so far, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe. I don't plan on going anywhere, so Jesus, roll. Gonna have to do some savage work here. Do it the barbaric way. Don't see much in that one. This first 5 live might be a bit of a stinker. I really like when I can find something good for you guys, but, well, we got a 2001P, but I already have that in the collection, so I do not need it. Now, if you're going through, you should probably be checking the obverse on most of these. I'm being a little lazy with this, but I'm getting a little bit better now with finding the older ones so that I don't necessarily need to check every single one super closely. Well, year of the volunteer. The year of the volunteer. And there's a much better year of the volunteer. All right. Well, a whole lot of that new in this roll, none of that old. None of that old. So far we have found 168, 169. We're close to silver, but not close enough. I would like to get much closer. Ooh, now this one might have some promise. We got some older ones there. This one might just be rusted. Now this is looking like it might be a little silvery. Let's take a look here. Oh, went rogue on me, but this is looking promising. Guys, oh my, look at that. Look at that right there. Oh my God, we got our first silver of the box. What year is this going to be? What year is this? It's very worn, but it looks like a 1955 young head. Oh my. This is what, 4 rolls in, or no, that was the 5th roll. So that was roll number 5. We just got our first silver already. Oh yeah, boom, baby. So put that to the side. A young head too. Not only did we get a silver, but a young head, and there's some other stuff that might be. See, I'm getting a little better at this silver detecting now. This is why you gotta just keep at it. I could tell that was a little darker than the other ones that were sticking out there. So that seems to kind of be the key, is the darkness to the edge. Now what's this? Maybe a 68? We got a 68. So doesn't want to focus. A 68, you know how it goes. We slab it down, and then we hit it with our magnet. Well, you can see another nickel 68. But that is all right. My heart is pounding right now. I am in shock. I cannot believe I already found a young head. This bank is unreal. I'm going to continue going to it. If anyone's wondering the name of the city, because not many people know too much about Canada, but I am from Ontario. The name of the city that I have been traveling to, which is the neighbor city to mine, is Hamilton, which is a very old steel town city. That's why I've been going there. 87. Here looks like another 68. Yep, this is another 68. The 68s, I don't know why, but there is something that really stands out about the 68s. Even the nickel 68s stand out. So we will take our magnet here, and see, it's a pretty high mintage year, but heck, I figure if I just take enough of these out of circulation, I'll control the 68 market after long enough. Jeez. But that is incredible. We found a young head in a dime box, guys. So I hope that is a lesson for new coin roll hunters out there, especially in Canada, to look into this, because, sorry, I'm just kind of distracted, making sure I don't miss anything else. All right. Well, that's incredible. All right, I can't believe that. That is amazing. I'm gonna keep this going off camera. Tune you guys back in if I find anything good, which, there's a very good chance I'm praying that I might. So, tune you guys back in. Well, I have concluded the hunt, and these are basically the finds. It's not nothing too special. You guys at least got to see me pull this bad boy at the beginning, which was really awesome. This right here is a little pile of 1968s that I found, and I did the magnet test on all of them to make sure none of them were silver, and none of them are, which is unfortunate, but I still hold on to 68s. And then this right here is a 69. So what I'll do really quick for you guys is I will throw it under the microscope, and we will see if we have a large date, which I very much doubt. So, nope, that's a small date, but I'll show you guys a little example of what the large date looks like. But that is definitely a small date right there. And then I found these Roosevelt dimes in the box. Now, it's a pretty good stack, but the earliest one that I found is 1970, so nothing too old in terms of the Rosies, but I just wanted to show you guys this really quick. Look at this 1984 D. Look at the condition on that. I wish it was an S, but that is darn near uncirculated right there, so that's not a bad find. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to show you guys how my US dime collection is coming along in my Whitman book, see if any of these can fill it in, and then I am probably going to do my sign out. But before I do that, let me show you guys the find of the box. This. Now, it is in rough shape, very rough shape, but we just got our third silver, I believe, coin roll hunting. So Not bad, if you ask me. 1955. It's not a super low mintage year, but it is a young head, so we will take it. Alrighty, so let's see what we can put into our US book. About half of the US Roosevelt dimes that I found were able to go into my Whitman book, so it's coming along pretty nicely. This book goes from 1965 up to 2000, and it's only P's and D's, no S's. So, but for a amateur Canadian coin collector, these are all coin roll hunting finds. It's not bad. Has some serious work to do, but we will get there. So, let's do the wrap up. All right, so these are the leftover US dimes that I'm not going to use. So, you know what? I'm just going to set them free. There you go, back into the wild. So, not too bad. I mean, what is this? About 60 cents, and I got a silver. So, coin roll hunting is still very much alive and well here in Canada, and there's still silver out there. So, good news. I was hoping that I'd get lucky and find a few more, especially since I found this really early off the bat. But what are you going to do? You can't really complain. Well, it seems like the apocalypse is in, and I decided what better way to celebrate than hunting some coins. Now, the coins I've decided to hunt today are 2 nickel boxes. I've decided to have myself a feast. I've never done 2 boxes at once, so what better time than to get into this now? I got both of these from the same bank, but 2 different branches of that bank, and that bank being TD Canada Trust. So, one bank from Hamilton, one bank from Burlington. So, I checked the insides of these. One of them is all machine wrapped. Now, that's a first for me. The lady, the teller, said that it came straight from the Royal Canadian Mint, which I doubt, because when I looked inside of it, it looked like there was some old and some new, so I don't know about that. But, so what I'll do really quick is I'll show you guys what the inside of the boxes look like. We'll check for some enders really quick, and then we'll start turning into these things. So, what do you say we get into it? So I will more than likely be able to tell which bank these came from when I get into the boxes, but I labeled them box 1 and box 2, so I'll call this one box 1. There is some writing here on the TD sealed sticker, so really hoping that that isn't indicating that someone has already searched this box. Oh, these stickers. I just can't even wait to get into this thing. I wanted to check for enders in the car, but you know, it's not necessarily safe to be doing that. So, all right, so this is the one from Hamilton, it looks like, and it looks like a lot of new. We got 1 diadem ender there, so that's a good sign. All right, so I'll get my mat out, and then we will start tearing into this thing. So let the hunt begin. All right. A lot of clear rolls in here. We got some paper rolls as well. So, usually open the first 5 rolls live for you guys. First 5 live. So what I'll do for this one, I'm not too sure if I'm going to make this a 2-part series or if it's all going to be in one video. Either it's going to be one long video or it's going to be a 2-part series, and I'm going to call it the Apocalypse Box series. So, roll number 1. Looking pretty new to me. But, well, maybe not. We got an 89 there, so that's a good sign. Oh, whoa, would you look at that? Right off the bat, first roll, we got a 65. Very nice. So, I keep 65s and earliers. So, we already got 1 keeper. Not bad. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following along in the news, but the price of silver has been going down big time. So, hunting for silver right now, though still worth your time, might not be the best time to hunt for silver. 75. The amount of 77s that I have accumulated now is just getting ridiculous. But I still hold on to the 77s. Pretty sure it's the lows that you want to hold on to. Here we go. 4 rolls that I will open for you guys. So far we got 165. Not too shabby. But really what I'm looking for in these 2 boxes is a George head. I have been craving a George head in one of these boxes. The one that I'm looking for the most sought after Canadian nickel would obviously be a George V or an Edward, but I would really love to get a Canadian World War II nickel. Now that would be just amazing if I could get that. We got one washed out here. Let's see what it is. I lost it. What is it? A 1996. Not bad. So I'm glad I picked that out because we do keep 1996s. There are 2 variations for that year. If you guys would like any information on any of the nickels that I'm describing right now, just go watch some of my previous videos. I have lots of information on Canadian nickels in there. We have a 79. And if you guys enjoy my videos, then please hit a thumbs up and subscribe for more coin roll hunting and Canadian coin collecting videos just like this. So, really hoping one day I can score that World War II Canadian nickel. I have gotten a U.S. Silver War nickel, which was probably one of the finds of my career so far. I have gotten a few silvers as well in dime boxes. Whoop. Sorry about that, guys. We got a mess, but I'm just going to make sure we don't have a 2000p there. Well, that spill happened. Because sometimes the 2000p's can get mixed in pretty easily with the other obverses. So, looks like that's a 2008 on that end, 2015 on that end. Oh, we got what looks like an older one here. Nope, just a washed out 2008. But you can see those ones can really deceive you. (2003). Now some of my other esteemed Canadian coin collector colleagues have told me that there are some variations to look for in terms of 2001, 2002, and 2003 in terms of magnetic and non-magnetic. So, you know, I'm not really looking for the new stuff though, I gotta tell you guys. I'm looking for the older stuff, the George heads and stuff. But if you are looking to collect the low mintage newers, then that is something to look for. The only reason I honestly don't really keep anything at this point newer than, newer than 2000p's. I mean, those are the cutoff for me, and then nothing between 65 and the 2000p. 96s I keep, but they're not worth too much. You really got to go through those to find if they're worth anything. Find if you got the near 6 or the far 6. Looks like we got a lot of new in here. Canadian nickels are plated, but they are just very shiny. So 79. A 90. Now, I'm pretty sure 91 is a pretty low mintage year. 97, usually also a low mintage year. You should keep your eye out for. But you will find quite a few 97s for nickels, so they're not necessarily worth keeping for those. Alright, so there's roll 4. 1 roll to go. And then I'm going to start cruising through this box on my own. So, let's see if we can get lucky roll number 5 for you guys. In my last video, I'm pretty sure I scored a silver young head dime in my first couple rolls, so you can't always get lucky in those ones though. Oh, looks like we got something washed out here. Just a 88, rusty and gross. Just gonna throw that right back into the box because I don't even want to deal with that. Oh, we got our first foreign find of the box. Not bad. What's this? Looks like Barbados, possibly. Oh, Bahamas. Sorry, I have seen these before, but not bad. We'll hold on to that. Always nice finding foreigns in the box, I gotta say. I do like finding me some rarities. You know, you can find just about anything in these boxes. 2001P. Not quite what we are looking for. 11. Well, I think that's going to do it. Well, that's it for the first 5 live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going, tune you guys back in. So I'll let you know. All right, so I'm bringing you guys in. I'm a little less than halfway through the box and very exciting stuff, guys. I don't know if you can see right down here. So I have no idea what year it is, but this could very well be exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to turn it over. Let's hope for 44 or 42 to 45. 51. Okay, that's not bad. This is going to be the third 51 that I have. I found one of these in a box before, but this is still a very low mintage, honestly. I don't have it. I do. 19. No, sorry. I don't have this one listed, but this is a low mintage. I'll tell you guys exactly how low it is, but that is awesome. So we already have our first Octagon George head, and look at that. It is in just amazing condition too. Nice. So I was starting to get a little worried there. Heart was starting to pound. The only other thing that I can really report on that I've found so far is a 64 young head. Now, you find a ton of these in boxes, but still not a bad find. I keep all young heads, so anyways, I just wanted to tune you guys into that. Very interesting find. I'll keep going through the box and let you guys, if I know it, find anything else, and if not, then I will tune you guys back in after. Now, there are 2 mintages for the 1951. There is this one, which is the commemorative, and then there is also the 1951 plain. So this one is going to be a little bit higher of a mintage than the plain, but considering it's a George head, we've already found what we're looking for. And oh, this is amazing condition on this. This is almost uncirculated condition. So this is by far, this is an album stuffer right here for sure. But I just wanted to show you guys that. An amazing find. I already validated this hunt so far, and I still have a box and a half to go, so who knows what else we can find. So I'll keep looking, tune you guys back in. Alright, so I've searched through box number 1 of my 2 Apocalypse boxes, and I found all sorts of good stuff. I'm not going to tell you guys right now what I found. I'm going to save that for the end of the video, but I've decided to do both boxes in this video. So I'm going to search through the second box. First, I'm going to show you guys the inside of the box, show you what it looks like. I'm going to check for enders. I might open a few rolls for you guys, I'm not sure, but boy, did I find some good stuff in that first box, so I'm excited to show you guys that. But until then, what do you say we take a look inside Apocalypse box number 2? So let's take a look inside this box quick, because this is going to be the first time that I've got entirely machine wrapped rolls. Now, actually, there was one other time where most of the box, I believe, was machine wrapped, or the entire thing, and that was not good in my case. Usually in the United States, they come all machine wrapped, but in my experience here in Canada, that is not always a good thing. So the one indication that these are not completely uncirculated is I got that right there. Other than that, they look all pretty new. I don't see anything before 2000 at least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check for enders, and then I will tune you guys back in when I start opening up the rolls. After inspecting this whole box for enders, the best way to do it, I learned from one of the greats. I'll reveal his name later at some point, I'm sure, in one of my videos. I learned a lot from him, and he's another fellow YouTuber, but don't want to name drop right now. But basically, take a couple of the rows out, take them in sections of 5s, flip them over, and then another fact about checking for enders, because I didn't used to always think it was worth it, but if you have them all lined up nice and neat like this, if you check the whole box for enders, and you look at every single one, you're checking 10% of the box right off the bat. So just a little tip about checking for enders, why it might be worth it. So anyways, I checked, and there isn't a single nickel in here pre 2000 for an ender, so that is not boding as a very good sign at all. So to save you guys boring first 5 of this second box, I'm gonna look through it all on my own and tune you guys in if and when I find anything good, which I have a feeling I might not for this. They told me it was wrapped by the mint itself. I don't know why they would say that or why the mint would be wrapping nickels and sending them out, but if that is indeed true, then they might have sifted through them for the old stuff. And if that is true, then there's not going to be much good stuff here for you to see. So what I'll do is I'll tune you guys in at the end, show you what I found in the first box, let you guys know if I find anything in this box, and wish me luck. Alright, so some very sad news. I searched through about 5 of those rolls, and I didn't see anything before the year 2000. So when you get bank wrapped rolls or machine wrapped rolls like that, that's not a good sign here in Canada. That usually means that either the boxes have already been searched through by another coin roll hunter and machine wrapped by them, or it means the mint has been trying to reappropriate their old nickels for their nickel content or for their new massive value to take them out of circulation. I'm not sure, but I just find it strange that they said this box came directly from the mint itself, and then they're all machine wrapped, they're all older, but it's all good, guys. We found enough stuff in that first box to make up for both boxes, to make up for my last hunt, my last nickel hunt, that all I found was a 2000p, really, and some Young Head 64s. So, let me quickly take you through what we found here. So, right here, we have the Bahamas coin, and then we found a dime, always a good thing because it means plus 5 cents. We have 2 1963s. We have 2 1964s, and just take a look at this one really quick. I mean, someone got angry and went to town on this thing with the hammer, or they put it on a railroad track, I would say. Who knows what causes things like this, but not very nice. I will keep it though because it is kind of interesting. And then right here, 65s. We have 177, which usually I find lots of 77s. I said I'm getting way too many of those, so to only find one of those, pretty interesting. 196. This is all the US of the box. I'm probably going to toss a lot of it back, but I just wanted to show you guys how much US we get here in our Canadian boxes. And then I just wanted to show you guys this of the good finds, because I said there was some good stuff, right? So, check that guy out. I mean, not a World War II or anything like that, but a 59 Jefferson. I've been getting some good U.S. nickels in my boxes lately, so can't complain about that. That's a nice oldie. And then all of these right here are all octagons. Now, I have been corrected, and I believe this is a dodecagon or something of the variety, but I like to call them octagons because it's a little easier. So what I will do is show you from the oldest to the newest. Now look at that, a 42. Now that is technically a World War II, but I wanted to get the World War II V nickels is really what I'm looking for, not the commemorative, the actual V nickels. But it is still a George head nonetheless. Not in the best shape, but it is nice and old, so this is definitely going to be the find of the box. And then we have that 51 commemorative. Doesn't want to focus. There we go. And the condition on this one is just beautiful. By far the best condition 51 that I have. So, and just look at the obverse on that. That's almost flawless. Like, I'm going to probably throw this into a flip right after this video, or put it into my album. And then I found a few of these, and I don't know why they're always so beat up from this year. I don't know what happened in 1953 to cause all the coins to get this dirty, but we got another octagon, a 53, very old, very nice. Exactly what we are looking for. Not a George head yet, but I believe this is the first year, or one of the first years that it switched to the Elizabeth Young head. And to top it all off, we found a 61, which is the second last year for the octagon edge. Now, I just want to point out to you guys really quick, if you did not notice, that the 42 and the 61, let's even say the 51 here. Now, you can see that this one has the straight octagon edges and this one round edges, so makes it a little bit harder. It makes it pretty easy to find these ones. That's why there's not too many of the octagon edges left in circulation, but these ones can tuck away and hide pretty easily, so decent chance of finding them. I found a few 41s, 42s, so. But I think that is pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. Wow, look at the luster and condition on that 51. You can see the difference right there. Beautiful condition. I'm not even going to touch that with my fingers anymore. So, that's going to do it for this Apocalypse Box nickel hunt. The reason I call it the Apocalypse Box is because there's an apocalypse going on out there. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news. Like I mentioned earlier, price of silver's down. Price of gold is down. Stock market's crashing. No toilet paper. No water. The world's falling apart. But as long as we can still get our coins, then hey, I'm a happy guy. I mean, I hope this all blows over, but and I hope more than anything that everybody out there stays safe and stays prepared for what could be coming, because the worst could not be over yet. We never know, right? Coin back at it again, and welcome back to the Coin Cave. In today's episode, we have a $200 nickel hunt for you guys. I don't have two full boxes, unfortunately, but I do have one full box, and then I have $100 and loose rolls. I already checked for enders, and it's looking pretty good. We have a few diadems. I can see one right there, so that's looking pretty good. And there's a little note written on the top of the box right here. Do not open, please ship, with a little smiley face. So, don't know exactly what that means, but it could be a good sign. So, without further ado, what do you guys say? We get into the first 5 live. I handpicked some of the more promising looking rolls that I could see in the bunch. I made sure that they had diadem enders. So, hopefully we can get something promising on these first couple rolls here. Before I actually get into this though, I would really appreciate it if you guys would all hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. And you can see more coin roll hunting and coin collecting videos just like this. So, let's see what we got in our first roll. We got a clear roll here. Nothing too crazy on the edge check. But, let's see. I'm also looking for a 2020s right now too, so if I can score a 2020 nickel, that'll be a good one. Well, there's an 89, so not too bad. But it's not looking like anything too crazy on this first roll. Let's see what this ender was here. It was an 87. That's unfortunate, but not too big of a deal. The good thing about these clear rolls is not only can you check for enders, but you can check for inners as well. So, let's do clear roll number 2. I don't see anything too crazy. I don't see any octagon edges from first glance here. So, some of the big ones I'm looking for right now, 2000 Ps, anything pre-1965 I usually keep, and then just anything else that looks interesting. Foreign finds, Americans. So, what are we going to have? 1999, a couple centennials, an 86, a 78, and a 77. We keep 77s. There are 2 variations of 77. There's a high and a low. So, maybe after we'll throw this under the microscope, see what one that is. This looks like a bit of an older roll right here. 79, 86. Here we go. First young head of the box. We have a 64. So, good sign. We have a lot of 64s already in our collection though, so we have a 65 too. That's nice. 65s have a variation, a large beads variation, so we will throw this under the microscope for sure after. Not a young head. This is the first year of the diadem. Let's see, 86, 65. This roll is giving us some serious fruit right now. And this is a good sign. Roll number 2, guys. We got a 2000 plain there. We got another 1965 there. Beautiful. This is definitely looking like a bit of an older roll here. A lot of older stuff in here. 99. There's some newer stuff, but 74, 86, 72. Let's see, 79. A lot of older stuff, as you guys can probably see here. We got another 65. Definitely going to keep that. See what that one is. All right. Another 65. Definitely a keeper. Nice. So, roll number 2. Looking pretty good. Let's see if we can find something a little better, though, on roll number 3. See, made sure to get the diadem obverse on there for you. Obverse. So, still in the midst of a pandemic right now. Pretty crazy, pretty hard to get coins, but trying my best. Everybody out there, it seems like, is having a bit of a hard time getting their hands on boxes, but all we can do is make do with what we can get. Was able to get this nickel box, so I'm pretty happy. We got our first US of the box. What's it going to be? A 1988p. Now, I don't think I really need this one, but to see how many US I'll get in this box, I'll put it to the side for now. 2001p. That's unfortunate. Always got to be on the lookout for that 2000p. Oh, here we go. Second young head of the box, guys. Nice. Now, 1964. Not too shabby, but still would love to see a King George in this box. And then the ender was an 85. So, unfortunate, but we still got the young head. So already this box has yielded us some decent stuff in just a few rolls. So that's a good sign. Let's see here. We got a good mix of paper and plastic rolls here. So I don't know in the US if they use the plastic rolls very often, if you guys are even allowed to use those over there. I am curious. So, 1971. A good year to look for also is 1970 for most Canadian denominations. It was a pretty low mintage year. 2000. Sorry, that was 2009. It was just so darn shiny. Whole lot of new. Whole lot of new. What do we got here? 2001. That's the problem with those around the 2000 and 2001 years is you really have to check the back of every one to make sure if it has the P or not. So the ender on that was a 1987. So there was roll number 4. Nothing too crazy in that one. Let's see if we can have some luck with the 5th roll of the first 5 live. And then gonna tune you guys out, tune you guys in as I look through every few rolls and hopefully find something good. But what are we gonna have here in this one? Show you guys what this looks like. We got a few washed out darker ones there, so let's see. What do we have? First octagon of the box. Do you guys see that? Very nice. I don't know if you already saw what year it was, but it's a 61. In good shape, too. So, pretty sweet. I already got an octagon. That makes me a happy guy. That's not a P on there, so we don't need to flip it. An octagon already. Nice. What's that? 2001 P. And 89. All right, well, that's going to do it for the first 5 live. At least we got 1 octagon for you guys in the opening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through and let you guys know if I find anything else as I go along. And I'm sure I will, but if not, then I'll wrap it up. Oh my God, guys, I am literally shaking right now. This is going to be probably the pinnacle of my coin roll hunting career right here. This is not a joke, not planted. I don't know if you guys can see this right now, but I wish I could have gotten this live. This is a King George V nickel. I didn't think I might ever find one of these in a roll, so I haven't turned this over yet. I'm going to do this for you guys, but this is absolutely insane. Oh my God. This, I can't believe this. All right, so I'm going to turn this over. We'll see what year this is. So these started, I think these ended in the year 1935 was the last year. I couldn't even tell at first if it was an Edward or a George, but oh my God. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to flip this over and we can see what year this is. Ready? 1934. Oh my God, guys. I can't believe that. I wondered if one of these would be able to sneak into a box, but I didn't think there would be any left in circulation. 1934 Canadian George V nickel. If you guys are new to coin roll hunting and you're considering getting into it, you think this might be dead, this should tell you right here. Coin roll hunting, not only in the United States, but in Canada, is alive and well. Because I just found a nickel that's almost 100 years old in circulation. I'm going to keep going through, and then I'll let you guys know if I find anything else. But I doubt this is the find of my career so far. I cannot believe this. This is absolutely amazing. When I saw this, I could barely even get the cameras going and stuff because I was shaking. This is amazing. Wow. So, incredible. I'll keep going, and I'll let you guys know if I find anything else. Alright, so I'm bringing you guys back in. I got 9 rolls left to go of the $100 of loose rolls. That's what I searched through first. And I've decided to split this video into 2 parts just because the finds are probably going to be so crazy at the end that I'm not going to want to do all of them in one wrap up. So I haven't found anything too crazy going through the rest of these rolls. The best finds are right here. So I have a dime, which is always a good thing to find searching nickels because it means you're plus 5 cents on some of the nickels that you are keeping, which means you're spending some of your money. And then didn't think I was going to get one of these, but always a nice find is a 2000p, and those are minted at 4,900,000. So not a bad find at all, honestly. Well, not 900,000, 4,899,000. So very low mintage on those, very rare and hard to find, especially because you have to flip every single 2,000 over, and there's at least 20 to 50 2,000 planes to 2,000 Ps. So it can make it a little tedious looking for those. So glad to have found that. And then the other good find, which was actually an ender, was a 1967 Centennial Rabbit nickel. So far, this has been an absolutely amazing hunt, which is why I've decided to split it into 2 parts. And just because it can be a little bit of a time-lengthy procedure looking through all of these. So I'm going to look through these last 9 rolls. I might tune you guys in for the last roll before my wrap-up. And then I'm going to wrap this thing up for you guys. So wish me luck on these last rolls. Alright, so I've stopped this hunt 5 rolls short, and I'm just going to explain to you guys why, because it's really important if you live here in Canada to know about this, because somebody explained it to me. I might mess this name up, so if you know exactly what the name is, please correct me in the comments. But as far as I know, it is called the ARP, and as far as I know, those last 9 rolls that I was just talking about are all a victim of ARP. Here in Canada, it's called the Ally Reappropriation Program, and what that is the Royal Canadian Mint has a program where they take old Canadian nickels, dimes, quarters, and our older denominations that were minted in nickel up until 1999, and they take them back and they try to appropriate the alloy in them, nickel mainly, because it's a lot more valuable than the steel alloys and the replacement alloys. So I can just tell that's the good thing about these clear rolls is you can edge hunt them without even opening them up, and you can check for what I like to call inners. So after looking at every single roll here, you can see there isn't a single ender. So that's going to be your first sign that there's probably nothing in here worth finding. And then the second indication, obviously, is that when you check for inners or you check for edges, they're all extremely shiny. They all have a very glossy finish, and you can just tell they're all very new. You can tell the nickel edges very easily from the steel edges here and the plated edges in Canada. So there is absolutely no point for me to search these last 5 rolls. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the wrap up. I'm going to show you guys what I found searching this first $100 of loose rolls, and then I'm going to show you guys a sneak preview of what the second box will look like in the next video. So let's get into the wrap up. Alright, so before I start breaking down these finds, I would really appreciate if you guys would hit that like button, and if you guys are new, please subscribe for more coin collecting and coin roll hunting videos just like this. So, let's start breaking this down. I would have to say, if I was going to rate this hunt, it would be a 10 out of 10. Probably one of the best hunts I've ever had. Found probably the oldest coin I've ever found coin roll hunting so far. I found a 1937 or a 1939 before, which is pretty unbelievable. But this, I just cannot believe this. This exceeded all of my expectations. So let's start breaking it down for you guys. We got a 1996 here on the end, which I'm going to throw under the microscope for you guys really quick so we can see if it is a near or a far 6. So let's see what we got here. Now usually if it is a near 6, the 6 will be touching the D in Canada. So that is probably going to be a far 6. But the best way, honestly, to tell is to have 2 of them and compare the 2, and then it's a lot easier to tell. But as far as I can see here, that is going to be a far 6. So that's the 96. And then we have 2 piles of US here, most of which I'm probably going to put back, but I do like to pull them all out to see how many US I'm getting in each box. The oldest one I got, I believe, was 1983. The newest one I got was a 2019. No 2009s today, unfortunately. And then in this pile right here, 1977s. So what I will do, see if maybe we have a little bit of variation very quickly. Throw 1 or 2 under the microscope and show you guys why I keep it. So you can see right there, that is going to be a low 1977. So let's see super quickly if we can find a high one for you guys. That looks like it might be low as well. Now, the difference between the low 77 and high 77, obviously on the low. Okay, there we go. There's a high. So you can see on that one, the 7 rests above the 7 on the left. And on the low, the 7 on the right will rest below the 7 on the left. So good reason to hold on to your 77s. I'm pretty sure it's the low variety that's the one you want to keep, but I hold on to all of them anyways. And then we have a 2000P here, which is a great find on its own. It can honestly pretty much validate a hunt just finding one of those. So that is great. It's minted at 4,899,000. So super low mintage, super hard to find because you have to flip every single 2,000 over to find them. So it's a great coin. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one I've gotten now. So, not too shabby. Right here, we have a pile of 1963 to 1967s. I didn't keep any 66s, but we found a few 65s. We found a few 64s. So, you know how we do it. Let's throw a few of these under the microscope for you guys too and see if we can find any sweet variation. Now, I'll probably just do these 64s because they're a little bit quicker and easier to detect. So, let's see if we have an extra water line. Now, if you guys want to know how to find the extra water line, basically between the water and the King George initials, the water will actually be touching the initials. So we'll see if I can show you here. Now this one is definitely not one. You can see there that the water is far below the initials. So you can tell that this is not an extra water line. But let's see if, now the chances of actually finding the extra water line super low, but doesn't mean you shouldn't check. Well, it looks like we only got 164 in the entire box. Oh, never mind, there's one more. Let's see. So we got 2 64s in this box. And that is going to be plain as well. So usually the stories when it comes to the 65s and 64s, the variations are pretty far and few between, but I still like to hold on to them. the 67s are very nice to find. They're just very nice in general because they are centennial year, and during that year, Canada put a different animal to represent animals native to Canada. So they put a rabbit. I don't know what kind of rabbit it is, but they put a rabbit on the 67 nickel. So very cool coin to have in your collection. We have the one octagon of the box, the 1961. No varieties on that, unfortunately, but if you find a 62, there is a good doubling variety to look for. So keep your eyes out for that one. We found a dime, which is always nice to find. And then the epic find of the box, the most epic find of my career so far, this guy, a 1934 King George V nickel. This was incredible. I cannot believe that I actually got to find one of these in a hunt, but this is why we do it. And this is why I do it, you know? If I ever had doubts, if I ever wondered if I haven't found anything yet and maybe I should give this up, this has just given me and my coin roll hunting career new light and new hope. So, and very interesting is that I found this looking through loose rolls too. So basically I went into the bank and asked if they had any boxes. They didn't have any boxes. So they gave me a loose bag of $100 of nickels, which basically, I don't know if they got it from the vault or they got it from the cashier's drawers, but either way, the chances of getting a coin like this in cash or bank teller wrap rolls, super low. So I don't know if this is saying in Canada you have a better chance looking through the teller or customer wrap rolls, but very interesting. Now that box that I had some writing on it. It had a note, please ship, or please do not ship. I'm not sure. I'll show you guys at the very end of this video. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what that box looks like because there's some good looking enders on there. But it seems like loose rolls here in Canada are a great option. So you don't have to go in and ask for boxes. You can just go to a few different banks, ask for rolls, and you can still find amazing stuff. So honestly, this was the best hunt I've had so far. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'm really stoked that I got to find such an old coin finally, and especially in a video. So there's going to be some epic hunts on the way. I'm going to release part 2 probably tomorrow or over the next couple days. So stay tuned for that and wish me luck. Hopefully there'll be some epic old coins in that one, just like in here. In today's episode, we have part 2 of the 2-box epic nickel hunt. The reason I call it the epic hunt is because in the last box, I found a King George V nickel, which is over 80 years old, which is the oldest find to date that I have in my coin roll hunting history. So that is absolutely amazing. I took a look through this other box for enders, and there's a lot of diadem enders, just like in the first $100 hunt. So looking to be a good sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 rolls out of here. We're going to open the first 5 rolls live for you guys, and then I'm going to go along, open the rest up, and tune you guys in. So what do you guys say we get started? Alrighty, so I have a few good looking rolls selected for you guys. I made sure that they all had diadem enders so that hopefully we can get something good for you guys live on camera. But before I start opening these things up, I would really appreciate it if you guys would hit that like button. And if you're new, please subscribe for more coin roll hunting and coin collecting videos just like this. So, what do you say? We get into the first 5 live. Alright, so as you can see, hopefully, we have the diadem ender there. And I picked out a few clear rolls because those ones I could tell had the diadems. I don't want to look through all the single-ended Canadian rolls. Here in Canada, we don't get machine-wrapped rolls very often. A lot of the time, we get customer-wrapped rolls. Even the bank-wrapped rolls are usually just paper rolls. I don't know what system the tellers have for wrapping those things up, but all right. So let's get started here. Hopefully, oh, there's our first US of the box. What is that going to be? A 2014 P. So, nothing special there. But it's good when you see US because it means there's going to be some variation. There's 84. We have an 80 there, so we're getting some older stuff in here. What I'm really hoping for, one of my finds I've been looking for in my career, is a World War II V nickel, the official chrome-plated World War II V nickel. And it looks like the ender was a 1979. So, whoop, There goes the US. So the only keeper for that one is the 1979. So I will put these to the side. Skunked on the first roll. But that's usually how it goes. So I'm working with a new setup. It's a little tricky here, but I'm trying to get this on camera for you guys the best I can. These Canadian nickels are just, the finish on them is just so reflective that it's really hard to focus on them sometimes. So we'll give you guys a look what the edge looks like first, and then we will start looking through. We have an 84 there. Oh, here we go, our first box. Look at that, guys. It's got an interesting finish on it, but look at that. First young head. Nice shape, too. So, already, we have something good. Now let's keep going. Oh, we have a 96. It's a little washed out, but look at that. Oh, sorry. Gonna keep that. We keep 96s here. We have an 83. So, seeing a little bit older, but nothing too crazy. All right. This first 5 live is becoming a little bit complicated, but you never know. Could get something epic on one of these first couple rolls. That's why I like to do this. Eventually, I'm probably going to do, if I get 2 boxes of certain denominations, I may just, oh, this one looks like it might have some promise. Look at that. We got a 1975 ender on that end, and then we have a diadem on that end. So, this one might have some promise. It's looking like a lot of old in this one too, I gotta say. Let's see. Give you guys a look at what the edges look like before I start going through. So 75, 74, 79, 75. Geez, this looks like an old roll that I probably looked through. Nothing too crazy in here. 78, 68. Okay, 74. So old, but not old enough. This would be a bullion hunter's dream here. We got a 77 there. First 77 of the box. So hold on to that. 78. Really surprised there's nothing. Oh, there we go. 65. It's not a young head, but we do hold on to 65s because they could have the large bead variation. So 65, 74. Come on, there's got to be something a little older in here. All diadems, but no young heads. 77, all chewed up. And, yep, that's going to do it for that one. So, a lot of nickel, but no old nickels, which is a bummer, if you ask me. All right, so we got 2 rolls left here on the first 5 live, guys. We found one 1960 so far, which is a good year to find. If it was a 62, then it might have doubling, but as far as I know, 1960 does not have any doubling. There's looks like a few nasty ones in here. Oof. But it is old ones on both sides here. See, that's another. Oh, look at that, guys. We got a young head right there off the bat. That's another pro to using my mats. Is it'll keep your surfaces clean of these dirty coins, especially in these times right now. You don't want to be getting these coins on surfaces, and you want to make sure that you're using gloves if you're looking through them because they can be very dirty. So there's going to be a 63. I knew it was a 63 or 64 because the rounded edges end in the year 1962, and they go to the round edges. So, that's not too bad. Let's see what we can get here. There's the nasty one with some green nastiness on it. A few of these here are gross. There's a 77. I'll keep that. See what else. See if we can get some a little older. One in pretty good shape there. It's a newer one. 77. 69. So, this is an interesting box so far. Just kind of like what I thought, you know. It's a lot of 85. 65. There we go. Doesn't want to focus for you guys. There we go. Sorry, I should really be paying attention to the camera a little more, making sure it stays in focus for you guys. Not sure what year that is because it's so gunked up. Looks like an 80 to me though. 81. No, this is crazy. Look at the amount of diadem in this box. Strange. I don't know if they meant to ship this off to the mint or what, but a lot of nickel in here. But nothing too crazy in that roll. We got the one young head you guys got to see. But we got one roll left that we're going to open live, and then I'm going to start coasting through these things. And hopefully we can get a King George the 6th. King George the 5th, on the other hand, I don't think I'm going to get one of those for a long time. But you never know. Alright, so we got another clear roll here. A lot of these clear rolls have $2 written on them. This one has $1 written on it, which is strange because it should be $2. And it once again looks like a lot of nickel in here. So let's see. Whoops, kind of got those all over the place there, but 87, 68. Now, I don't think this box has been searched through because we found a 60, and usually people hunting boxes will keep 64s, 65s, and stuff like that. So, there's another young head. 64, nothing too special. Seen me pull a bunch of those before. Really got to flip all these diadems to make sure that they are not 65s. 87. 75. Geez Louise, just look at the amount of nickel in this box. And some of them are in good shape too. Like look at the luster left on that 81. Still got its mint shine on it. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a rabbit for a second. Alright, keep going through here. See if there's something. Nothing. Alright, well, you know how it is. That's going to do it for the first 5 live, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cruising through these rolls on my own. Let you guys know if I find anything good. If not, then I'll wrap it up at the end with the finds of the box. So, I'll let you guys know if I find anything else. Alright, so I've gone through a few more rolls, and I got some good news. This box has been bearing some pretty good fruit. So, in the last roll, I found this. Wasn't sure exactly what it was, but usually when you pull these, it's a 60 or later, so I was really hoping, and then I turned it over, and then would you look at that, 1956. So, can't complain about that. Wish it was a King George, but can't really do much about that. But I'm only about 10 rolls in or less, so I still got a lot to search through. I also found a 64 young head in that same roll, so this entire box so far has been a ton of nickel. So I don't know if they're going to send this off to the mint because they said, do not open, please ship. And this is a huge percentage of nickel in this box. So I think they might have been sending this back to the mint for the nickel or for the alloy reappropriation program. So I might have gotten lucky here. So hopefully I can find something a little bit older than this, but even if this is one of the older ones that I've found so far, that is not bad. I can't complain about that. So I'll keep looking. Wish me luck. Hopefully I can find something else. I'm a few more rolls down, and I just found another really good one that I haven't talked too much about. But you've heard me talk a lot about the 2000p, and that's definitely a good one to look out for because it's around 5 million minted. But one that I haven't talked a lot about is the 1970. Now this one, for most Canadian denominations, is very low mintage. Even for the dimes, it's around 5 million minted. But I can tell you for the nickel, it's 5,726,010 were minted in 1970. I don't know what they were doing in 1970, you know, the year after the Summer of Love, that they didn't mint as many coins, but it's a good one to look out for. You can see this one right here is in absolutely amazing shape that I just found. So that's a great find. It on its own, similar to a 2000p, or even to a Octagon Young Head, I would say, in terms of low mintage. So that's an awesome one. I'm totally stoked to have found this one, especially in this condition. I'm going to keep going and see if I can find anything else like this. Just found something pretty interesting that we don't come across too often here in Canada anymore. In the United States, you guys would probably be totally bummed if you found one of these in your boxes, but honestly, I'm not too stoked. We got a Canadian penny, which means we're down 4 cents, but let's show you guys the year that we got. So it's going to have the Maple Leaf Mint mark on the back, sorry, the Royal Canadian Mint mark, and it's going to be a 2010 in terrible condition. So that's not bad. I don't have any 2010 pennies besides the ones in my book probably, so I'll throw this in the collection. Not a bad find. It'd be nice to get some older Canadian pennies because they're not in circulation here anymore. They stopped circulation of Canadian pennies in 2012. So anytime you can find one of these in a box, it is a total bonus. So that's not bad. We'll put that to the side, see if we can find anything else. Well, we have our first George head of the box. It isn't a George V, but it's a George VI, and you know that's what I'm always looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over for you guys and show you what year it is. I already saw what year it is, but so let's see. 3, 2, 1. And we got a 1951. Would you look at that? And would you look at the shape of it too? Absolutely amazing. You have a little bit of strange toning going on here on the obverse by his face. Not sure what's going on with that, but totally stoked. We got a George head, so validates this box. This box was definitely an epic box. So I'm not going to tune you into anything else that I find. I'm just going to go through the rest of it. I got about 15, 20 rolls left, and then I'll let you guys know at the end if I find anything else good like this. But honestly, this is awesome. This is exactly why I do this, and these George heads are exactly what I'm looking for. I love finding them, so totally stoked. I'm going to keep going and tune you guys back in. Alrighty, I've completed the second of the 2 epic nickel boxes, and boy, I have to say, it completely lived up to the name. I don't even know where to get started here. These are just some of the finds. I honestly have so many good ones that I can't even get nearly all of them on this wrap-up because I just won't have nearly enough time, so I'll just do the good ones. But off of camera, I have a bunch of 1963s, 1964s, 1965s, 96s, and 77s that I'm going to hold on to. But I'm just going to explain some of the good ones that I'm keeping to you guys because I got some really good ones here that I never expected that I would find. So just quickly break down some of the piles that I have. So I have the penny, obviously. These are all octagons, so that's amazing. I have at least 5 or 6 different octagons here. The earliest date I got for octagon is 1951 George head, which I have right here. So that's an absolutely amazing coin to find, and the reason that is such a good find is because it's a 1951 plain. So there's 2 different variations in 1951. There's the 1951 plain, which you guys see right there, and then there's also the 1951 commemorative, which celebrates, I believe, 200 years of Canada. And then this 1951 plain is a much lower mintage. It's minted at only 8,329,321. So super low mintage, not as low as the 1970 or the 2000p, but the fact that it's older makes it a lot rare, very hard to find, especially in the wild. So that is just an absolutely amazing find for this hunt. And then I found the 1952 octagon, which I would have been happy with just with that. So, and then we got 1 rabbit centennial. And then this is our pile of US right here, pretty decent pile. I'm probably going to end up throwing most of them back. The earliest I got for US, I think, was 1972. So nothing too special there. Okay, and then I'm going to get into these right here. So I have the 1970 that I explained earlier, and then these 3. So I've talked about proof and specimen coins here in Canada and identifying them and how tricky it can be. Now, there are no mint marks to identify specimen coins unless you're talking about 1998 and 1999, I believe, are the 2 years they put a W on specimen and proof coins here in Canada. But other than that, they're extremely difficult to find. But I'm pretty sure I might have found 2 or 3 of them here. Maybe you guys can help me out and leave a comment and tell me what you guys think. So, I have a 66, an 82, and a 79. And I'm not too sure about the 79. It may be a heavy cameo strike, but I can just tell the fact that this is a 79 and it's in this condition. I'm going to try and get a closer view for you guys of the condition of these right here, because these are just for the years. I don't even want to touch them, especially on the obverse. That's what made me think that we have something really special with these ones. So you can see there's something really going on with that one in terms of condition. And then I'll get to this one last because I know that one is definitely special. And then this one right here, I think might have come out of a proof-like set. But just look at the condition on the obverse on that. And that might also be a heavy cameo because the queen, the detail on the queen looks extra detailed there. So if I was going to chalk it up to anything, I would say these are either proof or specimens. And then this one right here. Now this one, I don't know if you can just tell comparing the look of all three of these, but all three of these nickels right here are different strikes. Now I can tell that it takes a bit of a trained eye, but I've looked at a lot of these nickels on eBay, and especially this one I have noticed. Now this right here, I can just about darn well guarantee you is a silver proof nickel. And just from the frosted finish, that's, I believe what they call that is a frosted cameo finish. You can see with the beaver, it's almost milked over there, and it's just much different. And then another way that I can tell that this is silver and these two are not silver is if we pull at our magnet here and I hit this with the magnet, it picks it up. Sorry if you're watching me cringe hitting these specimen coins with the magnet, but there's no other way really to show you guys. And then if I hit this with the magnet, there is nothing. So hit that one with the magnet, picks it up. So as you guys can see, in my mind, that's silver. So I found a silver proof coin going through a nickel box here in Canada. Now that is absolutely amazing. I think that might honestly be the find of the box. Either that or the George head, not quite sure. But just so you guys can have a little bit of a reference point here, here's a 2019. So these, even though this is a 66 and a 79 and an 82, these are in much better condition even than the 2019. So that just shows you right there what kind of stuff you can find going through these boxes. Whether you're Canadian, American, coin roll hunting is alive and well.